All right, so for this code along, we're going to build this web page here. Again, it's the GUI or the graphical user interface for a future program we're going to build. I love Kung Fu Panda, awesome movies. They're so good. And the idea here is we're going to type in a character, like Tigress, and we would click search and it would show up the Tigress's picture. The title would change to Tigress and we do a quote from Tigress. Okay, so that's the goal in the future once we learn JavaScript. But for now, we're going to use this as another opportunity to practice our HTML and CSS skills to build this. So some new things here. We've got a background here, background image. So we'll show how to do that. As well, the background of the body here is actually, there's some transparency. I could actually increase it. It doesn't look that transparent. We'll play around with that setting. I'll show you how you can do transparencies with an alpha value. And again, just some basic styling, centering the content. This is that centered fixed width, right? So that when I resize it, the content always stays in the center. The margins just balance. Okay. Anyway, this is the finished product. We're gonna have some start code so I can share the images with you. So I'm logged into GitHub with my fake student account. I'm logged into GitHub Desktop. If I go to Options, we've got my fake student account here. So that's all ready to go. And the start code, that's the link right here, Mr. V CS10 Kung Fu Panda Search GUI Start. All right, I'll put this link in the video description, so you should have this start code. It is a public template, so that's really easy to copy the start code. You just say, use this template. And inside of here, we're going to call it Kung Fu Panda Search GUI. That sounds good. And we can give it a description. Sure. Kung Fu Panda Search GUI demo, whatever. Public or private. Like I said, I usually recommend private. If you want to, then you can share it with me by adding me as a collaborator. And let's create this repository. All right, so once this is done, I've now taken the start code from the Mr. Velkamp or Mr. Velkamp account and copied it to my account. Yay! So this is on GitHub. I need to get it to my local machine. So I'm at home right now. Whether at home or you're at school, you would do the same thing. Now, I think in the other video I said use code and hit open with GitHub Desktop. That usually has worked for me, but I've had a few students that said sometimes like GitHub Desktop, it kind of glitches or it doesn't open or something weird happens. So I wanted to show you another way to do it. I am just going to, I'll still click this code button, but I'm just going to copy the URL. You can also copy the URL up here, but this is just convenient. And once that's copied, I'm going to go here to GitHub Desktop and say File, Clone Repository, right? We're going to make a copy of our GitHub repository onto our local machine. So first of all, actually, because I'm logged into GitHub Desktop, it starts here with github.com and it finds my repositories, right? Now I also have the CS20 organization, but don't worry about that. So you can see it has it right here. So I could just select this one, but you can also go to the URL and paste it here. And then we have to tell it where we want to copy it onto our local computer. And this looks great, actually. Desktop CS10 Kung Fu Panda Search GUI. If it's not set up properly, just click choose and navigate to the folder you want to go to. Okay, so I'll hit clone there. And it should copy it. Yay, that's my current repository. If I do a quick check here, I should be able to go to my desktop CS10. And there it is, Kung Fu Panda Search GUI, and it's got the start code in there. Awesome. From GitHub Desktop, we can say open this repository in Visual Studio Code. Ta-da! The start code just has this link to the style sheet, and it has the title and the H1, that's it. And the style sheet is empty, just a comment. And we've got a whole bunch of images. We'll only need the background image here, and then whatever character we want to start the page off. I was going to do Poe. I have all the other characters there for later on when we do the actual app. We're going to want to update the page to show the character we're searching for. Okay, So that's the start code, and remember for our extensions, we should have, well, I've got a bunch set up here, but live server is a big one that we should have, and prettier. And with that live server, I can either click on go live here, or right click on the HTML file and say open with live server. It should open up in your default browser. And now whenever I make changes, Kung Fu Panda characters, I always like to test this with an exclamation mark. Hit some extra buttons, we hit save, and when I go back to here, yay, it automatically refreshed. Okay, so we're all set up to start programming. We have our, oh, it saved the change. I'm not going to push that yet. We've got our repository set up with GitHub Desktop on our local machine, and this is linking to our fake student account with our code also on GitHub, and we'll synchronize that. All right, I'm going to stop there. In the next videos, we'll start getting the HTML and then and start building this thing. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.